you a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. Of course, I am Mr. Clark Griswold, and I am happy to have you guys here. We have a bunch of new subscribers, so I welcome all you guys to the channel. I'm glad you subscribed. Hopefully I'm helping you guys out. If you're new, welcome. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. I put out all my videos on Twitter, but I would recommend you guys hit the subscribe button and then hit that bell, which is the notifications. It lets you know when I send out these videos, and I do send them out daily. Okay, I send out day setups, I send out week setups, monthly setups, learning tools, and other various things to help you guys out in your trading journey. Okay, and that's why I'm here. I believe everybody's here to serve in one way or another, and I feel like this is why I'm here, is to serve you guys and help you guys learn to be profitable in trading. Okay, so these are our plays for March 4th, 2022. Okay, so let's get started. These plays are just one-day trades, one-day setups. I do look for the closest strike price out of the money and the closest expiry date, okay, especially on the day trades. So as an example here on American Airlines, we have an inside bar. If we go to the upside and it's 16.94, well, our strike price should be 17 or 17.50 or 18 or whatever the next closest is outside of this 16.94. So 17 or 17.50. And then an expiry date is probably on Friday, so you take that expiry date. Okay, so let's get started. Inside bars on American Airlines, calls at 16.94, puts at 16.29. Inside bar is basically just a bar that doesn't break the high or the low of the previous candle, and it works on all time frames. Okay, weeks, months, years, seconds, minutes, doesn't matter. And then when we're looking for targets, we take the wicks, top of the wicks of the preceding candles or the bottom of the wicks. And the way I found this interior one, as you see, it's in the middle of these two. Just so you have a quicker way to take profits, you can hop back on the hourly. Okay, and if you hop back on the hourly, you see here, this is the next top candle. Okay, so it's just a way for you guys to attempt to take profits earlier. And if we are green, guys, take your profits. Please take your profits and don't lose them. Okay, let's run through these because I got a bunch of them. Edwards Life Sciences, the next one, double inside bar. So we have double consolidating days in the last 2 days. So I always explain this as a spring that's coiling and getting ready to explode. Okay, so calls at 112.83, puts at 110.80. And if I go to MU, I just want to check something here because I think MU was an outside bar, so it wasn't. Okay, so Edwards Life, that's Edward Life Sciences, calls, I can't remember if I said this, 112.83, puts at 110.80. And if you haven't already, grab a pen and a piece of paper. You can write down the ticker symbols and your triggers to jump into these plays. And again, with these triggers, they're not subjective. They either are or they aren't. This stock tomorrow will either stay inside and we don't trigger and we don't play it, or it'll trigger one of these two sides and we jump in. Okay, if we go up and come back before we hit any targets, well, your stop losses are in place and you shouldn't have any issues. Okay, so it's a very simple trading method. It is a very easy trading method and strategy for you guys. And it's one of the easiest I found. I don't know of one that's easier and more simple, especially for beginners. Okay, so GE is the next one. GE has a 3-1 setup. Again, that's a outside bar followed by an inside bar. It's a super powerful setup. when these bars are set up like this. So we will look for calls at 94.96, puts at 93.11. And again, not all these plays are guaranteed to work. My last day trade setup that I had for March 2nd, sorry. And I said this video was for March 4th. This video is for March 3rd. I'm getting confused on my dates here. But on the March 2nd trades, on the ones it triggered, we were 20 of 22 trading on this strategy, so you should have been green. And it doesn't always end up like that, but it was a really good trading day for everybody yesterday who follows this strategy and this method. Okay, so XEL, 3-1 pattern, calls at 67.89, puts at 66.46. Walmart, inside bars, and again, I should tell you there are a ton of inside bars on these day trades for you guys. They're almost all inside bars. So if you don't know how to trade inside bars, this is a great video for you to find out how to do that. Okay, so inside bars here, calls at 136.84, puts to 135.17. CCL, time frame continuity, all to the downside. If you're looking for this indicator on TradingView, click on your indicators, type in time frame continuity, and it's by Board Rider B. Okay, there's multiple ones out there. That's the one I use. So it calls at 1959, but probabilities with the time frame to the downside show us that this is more probable to go down. Not 100% guarantee, but it's probable. So puts at 1868. AMD is up next, inside bar again, 119.53 for calls, 113.36 for puts. And again, if you guys don't know how to trade inside bars, this is an easy video for you guys to find out, and it's very simple. You have triggers. When we break them, you're in. When you hit targets, you're out. It's that simple, and you won't find a simpler strategy out there. And if you do, let me know. Inside bar, Adobe, ADBE, calls 477.32, puts 466.06. DDOG, that's Datadog, DDOG, this is a reversal now. Okay, so we had a 3 bar and then a 2 down. So a 2 down, a 2 bar is anything that's not an inside bar or an outside bar, and it can only go in one direction. And if it breaks above the opposite direction, then it becomes a 3. So this is currently a 2, and it is a 2 down. Okay, if we broke to this upside here, like this green bar, this is a 2 up because it broke above the previous candle. Now what's interesting with this one is it is a 2 down, but it finished green. Okay, so that makes it more probable that it is a reversal to the upside. Not 100%, but it's more probable. And the other thing that helps with that is this day, week, and month are currently green. Okay, so we'll be looking for calls only on Datadog at 165.06. AMC, again, another one of these reversals, 2 down green. So we'll be taking calls at 1870. I'll give you guys a tip here. I put out a video for, I think there's about 20 of the cheapest ticker symbols that have super cheap premiums, okay? So you're looking at getting them at like 30, 20, 50, you know, $1 per contract, or per 100, I guess. So $100 to get into a play, okay, or $50 to get into a play. So they're super cheap. Okay, so check out that video. It'll be on my learning tools or on my channel page, okay? Next up, we have a outside bar on CRM, ticker symbol CRM, that's Salesforce. Calls at 217.15, puts at 201.23, and we trade that the same way we would on an inside bar. We take the high or the low. Here's a high probability trade on KDP that secured Dr. Pepper. We are all green right across the board. So calls at 38.76, puts at 38.06. And the other thing I'll mention to you guys, if we gap up, these triggers become obsolete. Okay, we're not playing those plays. And if you know how to gap, then it's a different story. If you know how to play the gaps, but for today on this video, if it triggers, if we open above this bar or below this bar, we're not taking the trade. Okay, and the other thing I want you guys to look for when you're getting into the trade is the bid ask. If your bid ask is, let's say we go to look at Keurig Dr. Pepper and the bid is 40 and the ask is 60, you're not getting in that trade because you're not guaranteed that it's going to fill, and possibly if it does, you're already going to be behind the 8 ball. So you want to look for a few cent gap. So if Keurig, again, if the bid was 40, you're going to look for the ask to be 42. Okay. Lucid LCID, again, inside bar, calls at 24.79, puts at 23.60. Plug Power, PLUG ticker symbol. This has a 2 down, so it just made it past the low of this inside bar and then started coming back up. Okay, so we'll be taking calls on that one at 25.60 on Plug Power. And this teal bar, I'm guessing, is the weekly break. Or is it the monthly? Yes. So this teal bar represents the play on the monthly. So this is my trigger on an inside bar for the month. And here's the thing, guys. If we trigger on the daily, we're likely to get a trigger on the monthly as well here. And you can look for, at that point, for Plug Power to continue higher throughout the month. Okay, so different time frames are important, and usually, or sometimes, I'll have 4 screens on here showing the weekly, the daily, the hourly, etc. And that's the reason I show it, because when we trigger on a day, that could possibly trigger the week, which could possibly trigger the month and just send the thing green or red for the whole month or week or what have you. Okay, so Virgin Galactic, that's SPCE, that's space. That's a Richard Branson company. Again, 2 down reversal. So we finished 2 down green. We're looking for calls at $99.57. PST, that's Upstart Holdings. Again, 2 down green. We're looking for a 2 down, 2 up reversal. So we'd be looking for a reversal to the upside. So calls at 157.79 on Upstart. FUBO. Now, FUBO is what we have as a rev strat, okay? And I don't have it on here, and this isn't a high probability trade, but I'll put it on here to show you guys. So we had an inside bar, and then we broke that, okay? And we came down to, $8.17. So you probably didn't get any profit on this if you took it yesterday, okay? You probably got stopped out unless you did take some profit, but it's likely you would have got stopped out. So now what happens is called a rev strat, and it's just a form of a reversal. So oftentimes what happens on a inside bar, when we go one way, we tend on the following candle to come back up the other way. So I will look for that on FUBO TV. This pink line is the weekly trigger. So I already took profits back here. I got onto this on the weekly. If you guys want to take a look at it. If we go back onto the weekly, this was a 2 down red. Okay. And then in the morning it started moving. I had a trigger set on this pink line. I took it and I sold somewhere in here the majority of my contracts, and I left a couple runners on in the hopes that it was going to go higher. Well, it hasn't. It's come back down since, but we could see a possible, like I said, a rev strat, and if we trigger this, we're hopefully grabbing targets higher and higher through Thursday and Friday, and then I'll sell my final few contracts for another win. GME, again, we have a rev strat, okay? Plus this time it's green, so the probability of it going up is higher, plus the day and the week are also green. I don't care about these so much when we're day trading, the monthly, quarterly, and yearly. I like to see the week, the day, and the hourly, which you won't see here currently unless you're on the hourly chart, but I like to see those 3 green. Okay, so calls at 122.65 on GME. BA is a Boeing company, inside bar, calls 199.85, puts 194.59. And again, if you guys have had enough of this and you've been on here for almost 15 minutes now, so If you want, I have another video that's out currently, and it is the top stocks to buy for tomorrow. So there's 5 of them on there. They're my high conviction plays, so you can go and check those out right now if you're tired of watching these and you don't want to go through them anymore. Okay, but before you go, if you don't mind, and even if you're going to stick around, give me a thumbs up real quick if you're liking the video. Helps with getting the video on browse features on YouTube. And again, if you like it, give me a subscription and hit the bell, and then go do the same thing on Twitter if you haven't already, at Mr. Clark Griswold. Let's continue on here with BAC, Bank of America, inside bar. Time frame. This is a tricky one because if we come down, then we have the week that's red, the day will also be red, and then the hourly would also be red. So calls at 43.54, puts at $42.61. BIDU has a 2 down that finished green, so we'll look for a reversal to the upside. This time frame here looks nice with the green. 162.69 we'd be taking calls. That's ticker symbol CL, again inside bar. Calls at 77.03, puts at 75.75. Etsy, ETSY, outside bar, so we can take calls at 163.07, puts at 152.78 on Etsy. Facebook, Metaverse, 2 down that finished green. Okay, so calls only on this one at 209.31. Goldman Sachs Group, GS, inside bar. So on Goldman Sachs, we can take calls at 337.88, puts at 327.33. JP Morgan, inside bar. Where do we go? There we are. 139.95, puts at 136.63. And again, guys, today you got a lesson on how to trade inside bars, because the majority of these plays are inside bars or 1 bars. Next up, Monster Beverage Corporation. I saw a thing on here 20 years ago. If you would have put $5 into Monster, it would be worth $4.7 million right now. Crazy stat. And the chart for Monster is quite interesting on the big rises and the big dips that it has. It's a neat thing to look at from back in the 90s when it first came into play. Anyways, inside bar on Monster, calls at 84.33, puts at 82.80. MRVL, that's Marvel, is up next. Marvel again, inside bar, 68.52 calls, 65.28 puts. MS is Morgan Stanley, inside bar, and we're taking calls at 89.28, puts at 87.07. NKE, Nike, it's one of the ones I like to trade regularly, inside bar on Nike. Calls at 136.56, puts 132.74. PG, Procter & Gamble, inside bar, calls at 155.13, puts 152.62. PayPal, 2 down that finished green, so we're looking for a 2 down, 2 up reversal, and we'd be taking calls only on this one at 107.22 on PYPL, PayPal. TD Bank, inside bar. We are taking calls on this one at 80.41, puts at 78.05. Target, TGT, ticker symbol, inside bar, big gap to fill here. Calls at 226.24, puts at 218.58 on Target. DWAC, that's a Donald Trump stock, so this is one that we haven't seen today. It is a 2 up, but it finished red. Okay, so probabilities to the downside. We are showing time frames on the week, month, quarterly, and yearly green, so this is not as high of a probability of a trade, but if it does happen to go, we'd be taking puts at 92.49 and looking for targets here, here, and here. And again, you can look on the hourly to try and shorten up some of those target areas. Okay, so that's DWAC, DWAC, VLO. This is the last one here, I think. But again, we have a 3-1 setup. It's a powerful setup. The problem with VLO, I believe the bid ask is usually quite spread out. So I'm not sure if this is a great trade for beginners to be in anyways. But take a look at it tomorrow if you're interested in it. And VLO will take calls at 84.17 and 81.32. Again, guys, I do really appreciate you guys watching these videos. Again, I believe everybody has a purpose to serve in some way or another, and hopefully I'm helping you guys out with these videos. And again, if I am, give me a thumbs up and give me a subscribe and hit that bell, and we will see you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye.